Okay, just trying to decide when I exactly go live. If you want to know how you can convince me to support Joe Biden at this point, only one, I only ask one condition. That is all. Just one condition, and I can be convinced to support Joe Biden. And he's going to really, really, really mean it. I am Bernie Bro, and I shall explain. As you know, I I supported Bernie Sanders. I guess you just really must know that. I guess I make it very obvious that I support Bernie Sanders. But I've been pissed with the rigging that took place in 2016 and the rigging that continues to this day. April 28th, 2020. Still, after weeks of Bernie Sanders suspending his campaign, they're still fucking him over. Now, I can only support him under one condition. I don't think it's going to come to that because I am convinced right now. I look at November and I'm thinking, I'm voting for Howie Hawkins, the Green Party candidate. I mean, but there's only one way, and I know that Joe Biden will not do it. But I'll tell you, there's one issue, and I have to be assured that he will campaign hard on this issue. And if he gets elected, he will fight tooth and nail to see it happen. And that would be to go and endorse a universal, single payer, Medicare for all national health care program. I don't mean keeping the Affordable Care Act or bringing it back from the tattered way it's been under Trump. I don't mean just making it the way it was when it was, evolving during the second term of Obama. No more Affordable Care Act. This is how you can do it. Single payer, Medicare for all. I don't believe he'll do it. I don't believe he'll do it because he said he will veto it if the U.S. House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate somehow agreed to have a Medicare for all program right there on Joe Biden's desk to vote to sign into law. He said he will veto it. Well, motherfucker, Mr. Biden, you pretty much just told me you don't want my vote. I am not particularly a radical person. I'm not talking about transforming the American capitalist economy into an anarcho capitalist collective. I'm not talking about a nationwide kibbutz from Alaska all the way down to Texas, down to Florida. I'm not talking about that. What I am talking about is something that every Western democracy that even as capitalists, probably more capitalists in some cases than we are, they're able to provide taxpayer funded free medical care for the entire fucking population. How hard is that, Joe Biden? How hard is that, corporate Democrats? How fucking hard is that? Sarah Palin talked about death panels when Obama was trying to get the Affordable Care Act. She was half correct. It still resulted in death panels. But the status quo when she was bitching about it, private insurance the way it was prior to the Affordable Care Act, which was worse than it was when Obama had the Affordable Care Act in there that didn't really do much better. The insurance companies are the death panels. Even Hillary Clinton's meager health care plan in 2016 was better than Biden's approach. She says lower Medicare down to the age of 50. Still wasn't sufficient for me. But Biden is talking about lowering it down to 60, from 65 down to 60. Oh, if you're about to turn 60 and there is and you're able to get Medicare, granted that Biden wins and there's a Democratic House and a Democratic Senate that's committed to it, I'm not going to hold my breath. It'd be great if you're about to turn 60 and you're between 60 and 65. Joe Biden, with all the manipulation from Obama that fucked Bernie Sanders over a second time, at a point where Medicare for all, single payer, is now kind of accepted throughout America. I remember a time when I was favoring it back in the 90s. Even a lot of fucking Democrats during the Clinton first 2 years in 1992 to 1994 with the health care plan that was passing, what they call Hillary Care. I said, I'd rather have a single payer system. I was a young kid in the college Democrats, and they look at me and are like, no, we can't do that approach. That's too radical. Ask the people of Canada how radical it is. Ask the people of France how radical it is. Ask people in Sweden how radical it is. You know what's radical in a shitty way? People dying in the United States because they can't afford insurance. Or they go and pay exorbitant amount and high premiums. And then when they need health care, the insurance company finds ways to deny them care. Luckily, I am fairly healthy for a 51-year-old. I don't have a cholesterol problem. I don't have diabetes. The only thing is wrong with me is that I have high blood pressure, and I have high blood pressure, and I'm kind of ugly. I can do something about the high blood pressure, I suppose. My great grandfather is the only person in the family who's had diabetes. He caught it really late in life, back in the 1950s. I wasn't even alive at that point. But I remember my family talking about my great grandfather who paid a lot of money for insurance all those years. And when he had diabetes and he had his complications, had to go to the hospital, they canceled his policies. And they had to pay something like about $7,000-8,000 at that time in the mid 1950s. $9,000 was probably equivalent to about $80,000 today. And he had both legs lost. He died miserably. He caught the diabetes late in life. But the point I'm trying to make is the insurance companies fucked him over. And we're sitting there thinking, oh, well, employer-based coverage is okay. Or I don't want the government to take my insurance, my right to get the insurance I want away. Well, the insurance companies are a bunch of leeches. They commit more terrorism than those goddamn people from Saudi Arabia that went and attacked the World Trade Center that killed over, what was it, about 5,000 people that day? The insurance company kills 45,000 people a year. And then Joe Biden can't go around and favor something as sensible as Medicare for all. And then all the vote shaming against the left, they're like every which way you can imagine, just fucking over the left in every way. And then they're going to go and tell people on the left, well, you better get in line, or Donald Trump's going to be reelected. We're going to blame you for this. Don't y'all blame the left for this. You're going to blame somebody. You blame the fucking Democratic Party for Reaganizing the Democratic Party during the 1980s, during the 1990s, with the fucking Democratic Leadership Council that says, left wing, we don't need you. Fuck off. And if we lose the election, it's your fucking fault. Leftists, we need to fight the corporate Democrats as much as we need to fight the Republicans. Fighting the Republicans is one half of the problem. The corporate Democrats are the other half. And the more we realize this, the better it's going to be down the road. And if we can't reform the Democratic Party, we need a fucking Labor Party now. An American Labor Party now. So Joe Biden, corporate Democrats, fucking DNC, if you want my vote, you better fucking support Medicare for now. Otherwise, you can fuck off. I am Bernie Bro. I'm pissed. But I want you to subscribe to this channel. Good, bad, or indifferent. Until next time.